All right, so here we're going to solve the equation again. Now this time it's a little bit more complicated because now we've got a binomial here and then we have a binomial under here. So again, let's get rid of the square root by squaring that. But to get rid of that, we also have to square that side. So on the left, we get 9x plus 55. On the right, when we square this, remember, all we're going to do is FOIL. So that's going to be x plus 5 times x plus 5. So that's going to give us what? X squared plus 10x plus 25. So that gives us x squared plus 10x plus 25. Now, if we subtract 9x, subtract 9x, subtract 55, let's put minus 55 on top just because it's going to be easier to subtract. So on this side, that cancels, so we get 0 equals. We have x squared. We have 10 minus 9, so that's plus x. And so then it's going to be what? A minus, and that's going to be 3, 0. Okay. Now, what two factors of 30 factor into 30, but then when you subtract them, they become that? Well, 6 and 5 will. We need the bigger one to be positive, the smaller one to be negative, and we, of course, have our x's. So now let's look at it. That's x squared. We have 6x minus 5x is x minus 30. Now we set each of those equal to 0. So if we plug in a negative 6 here, negative 6 plus 5, that's going to give us a negative 1. And negative 6 here, whenever we take the square root, we're going to get a positive. We're never going to get a negative. So that one is out right away. So we're not even going to try to worry about that one. And then this one we have 5 plus 5 is 10. And so that's our right side. And that's going to be 45 plus 55, which is 100. Square root of 100 is 10. And so that one works. And so that is the solution to this problem. Okay. So sometimes you have to do a little bit more work to get to an answer. And then after you get an answer, sometimes you have two, and then you have to decide which one is the correct answer. All right, what about this one? Well, on this one, usually what we're going to do is we're going to take the square root of one of them by itself. And so let's subtract the square root of t. And so then we get, and now we're going to put it over here just so we can have enough room, hopefully. So 2t minus 28 equals 6 minus the square root of t. So now if we square this side and we square this side, and that's a t, not a 6, this becomes 2t minus 28 equals, well, squaring this is the same thing as taking 6 minus square root of t times 6 minus square root of t. So 6 times 6 is going to give us 36. Then we have minus 6t minus 6t, so that's a minus 12t. And minus times a minus is going to be plus, and it's just going to be a t. So here we have 12t. Okay, and then, whoops, that's a square root of t. I don't know, I must have dropped that. So then we just have to add that in. So we have a t minus 12 square root of t plus 36. Now let's take everything to the other side except for the piece that has the square root. So let's subtract t, subtract 36, subtract t, subtract 36. So that's gone, that's gone, that's gone, that's gone. So we have 2t minus t, so that's t. And then we have the minus, that's going to be what? 14, a 64. And that's equal to a minus 12 square root of t. All right. So now it looks like what we need to do is I'm just going to say, well, let's square both sides again. All right. So now we have t minus 64 times t minus 64. So that's going to be what? T squared minus, that's going to be minus 64 minus 64. So it's a minus 128t, and then plus, and then 64 times 64. That's what? 16, 24, 25. That's going to be 24, 36, 37, 38. So that's a 6, a 9, a 10, a 40, 96. All right, so that's a big number. 4096. All right. So let's write that over here. T squared minus 128t plus 4096 equals. Now, a negative 12 times negative 12 is going to be a positive 144. And the t square root squared is going to just be t. Okay. Now we'll subtract 144t, subtract 144t. So that's 0. And so we have t squared minus, and what we have, there's a 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we have a 2, and that's a t, and it's a 4096, not 8, 6. Okay. All right, so now we need to factor that. All right, so let's see, 49. So we have, what kind of numbers we have here? Let's see, 4096 divided by, I don't know, let's say 16 and see what we get. That's 256, and 256 plus 16, that's 272. Okay, so that gives us, got lucky on choosing numbers, t minus 16 and t minus 256. And that's equal to 0. So t is equal to 16 or t is equal to 256. Okay. Now, what we have to do is we have to plug those both back into here. So I'm just going to kind of hand type this on the calculator as we go and see what we get. So 2 times 16 minus 28 is going to give us 6. And so we're going to have the square root of 6 here. And 2 times 16 minus, oh, oops, 9. I have the wrong number here. I typed in something wrong. That's square root of 4, sorry. Square root of 4. And then we have plus the square root of 16. That's 2 plus 4 is 6. So this one works. Now we plug in 256. 2 times 256 minus 28. That gives us 484. So now we're going to have what? The square root of 484 plus the square root of 256. And I'm pretty sure the square root of 256 is bigger than 6. Yeah, that's 16. So this one does not work. Okay. So the only one that works in this case is the t equals 16. So again, key time you have to check is to make sure both answers work. In one case it does, one case it doesn't. So it's always best to check all your results. And so most of the time they tell us to do it, but not always. All right, let's pause there and we'll come back for some more.